Hello there, and welcome to another exciting episode of NYSC Half Hour. I am Nkem Okwogo. We begin today's episode with an interview with Professor Solomon Osita Chukwulobelu, Secretary to the State Government of Anambra State. He shares with us an inspiring story of how his service year molded his character for selfless service to humanity. Interestingly, he met his wife in Kano State, his state of deployment for his NYSC service year. Stay with us.
I served in Kano State and in Kano itself between 1979 and 1980. So in those days, there was just one batch of corpers. Now you have two batches in any given year. So I served from July 1979. Youngsters across the country were happy to go to any part of Nigeria, and I was pleased I was posted to the north because I felt I was born in Onitsha, went to school, did my secondary school in Onitsha, went to the old Bende State at Edo College, did HSC, and then from there went to Ibadan for my university. So I felt I needed to go experience the northern part of Nigeria. Unfortunately, I was posted to the north. I was posted to Kano State. We arrived Kano. I think what was very clear is that youngsters of those days were full of confidence. They were not afraid to travel to any part of Nigeria. But there was also something unique. This was the 1979 was almost like it was the year that the Second Republic was born. So there was transition from military to civilian. So there was a new air of confidence, expectation in Nigeria. So it was in the midst of that I went to Kano to serve.
Professor Chukwulobelu's commitment to service has been a value he has imbibed since his service year.
And one of the things I recall very clearly, in those days, we used to have what he called minor and major expedition. The major expedition, we had to do almost a 25-kilometer trek from the camp to Chalawa. And I had joined the trek, and on the way, we're still, probably we had done about 10 kilometers. And somebody came chasing me on the track that the women that were cooking were on strike, that they won't cook. And so I was taken in the car back to the camp. And when I look back now, I was 22. And I inquired what was the problem. Salah was coming. They hadn't been paid. And the issue was they don't have money for Salah. But there was no way I could pay them. So, and I said to them, the issue is food. They said, yes. I said, okay, let's go to the store. We brought out some rice, some beans, and shared them. It was a decision I had to make on the spur of the moment. I know that Chibalogu eventually reprimanded me for that. But what I did was to save a major crisis in the camp. Because what you would have had is that people would come back from that 25-kilometer expedition and there was no food in the camp. But subsequently, Chibalogu felt, this young man, you actually saved the day. I have a certificate of merit still hanging in my father's house at Onitsha for that singular honor, for that singular decision. And he subsequently asked me to pick where I wanted to do my primary assignment as a reward. And that was how I went to work for British Petroleum.
Even though from the southeastern part of the country, he thoroughly enjoyed his time in Kano State and fully integrated into the community.
Kano presented me with a lot of good things, simply because I went to Kano to serve. If I wasn't posted to Kano to serve, I don't think I could have made a decision as a young man leaving the university to go to Kano to work. If the NYSC scheme wasn't there, Kano would not be the place I would have gone to. I met my wife in Kano. She was, her parents were living in Kano. She was going to school in Kano. And from Kano, I must tell you, I explored so much of northern Nigeria. I always say that there is no state in northern Nigeria, the states that were in existence in 1979 that I didn't visit. All of them, name them, whether it's Bauchi, whether it's old Gongola, Borno, Sokoto. And my wife went to study in Sokoto, so I kept going back to Sokoto. I've traversed the bulk of Nigeria, the most of Nigeria. I've driven from Kano to Maiduguri. I've driven from Kano to Sokoto. I've driven from Kano to Gombe. So it's, but this was as a young man. NYSC is a very good scheme. Very, very good scheme. You meet people. 12-month period was a period of, I look back to with a lot of fond memories. And then I stayed back in Kano. If Kano wasn't a good place, I would have left, Indeed, I felt that Kano was the place to live. The skill acquisition and the entrepreneur scheme, very important, because when there are no white-collar, blue-collar job to go to, it becomes important that core members use the period to acquire skills that they can either lead them to employment when they finish or get into some, if you like, self-employment when they finish, or both. It's very important for every core member to make use of that opportunity. It's free. What they may not realize is that when they leave the service and want to learn those skills, they may have to pay for them and have to find time to fit it within their other schedule. So it's something, indeed, most of the time when I go to represent the governor, I stress that, please, take good opportunity of this, whatever it is, If a male core member can go and learn how to sew, it's not only women that can do that, or even how to bake or whatever. So it's very important. These are skills you can turn into cash, should you want to, or you can even bring to bear in your domestic and personal lives. It's very, very important. Nigeria serves, Nigeria we serve.
That was truly insightful. Professor Chukwulobelu is a shining example of the NYSC scheme, as the values instilled in him during his service year remains with him till this day as he continues to serve his fatherland 41 years after. Our next story is on Najim Fatai, an ex-core member who is a beneficiary of the NYSC SAED program in Oyo State. He learned fashion designing during his service year and has today established his own fashion outfit, Jersey Empire Fashion Enterprise, where he produces branded souvenirs and clothes. Najim is currently a SAED trainer and has trained thousands of core members and young people in the community. Stay with us.
The name of the company is Jesse Empire Fashion Enterprise. We are into sewing and customizing, branding of souvenirs and clothes. And also, we train core members on how to sew and how to customize. We've trained thousands of core members. This is the tailoring section where we have industrial machines. The function of this one is to join the clothes together. So we use this to join the clothes together. Then we use this for normal sewing. Then we use this, This is taping machine. Like this round neck now. After doing the round neck, you need this machine to make it firm. To do the neck and to tape it down, like this down. To tape it, to make it okay and accurate like this, you need this machine. We call it taping machine. So this is the same machine for sewing. We call it industrial sewing machine. So this is where we train our students, our core members. They have to start using manual. They have to know how to use manual machine. This is their photograph, the batch C. They just finished their own training. They introduced SAED, Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development, to us. Then I managed to learn how to brand on clothes, on souvenirs, and how to make banners for advertisements and brand for different companies. So after camp, I decided to follow up with the training, where I learned for like 3 months. I'll go to PPA. After PPA, I will still manage to go for the training. When I finished serving, with the situation of the country, I asked myself, do I have the time to start looking for a job everywhere when I have learned something that I can actually set up myself in? Though it wasn't that easy because there was no capital. I just finished serving. But when I was serving, I was trying to save. Even it wasn't that easy then. So I managed to start the business with one sewing machine. If I get a job, I'll go out, do it from some people, and I'll do the design, use some other people's machine to do it. So later, I started saving from one machine to 2 to 3. But today, I think I can tell you I have 13 manual machine and 10 industrial machine. And I have my own company registered, which is Jesse Empire Fashion Enterprise. I have almost all the printing machines now, and I served 2014. When I finished serving, I went to NYSC secretariat. I've learned this. Can you give me opportunity to train corpers? At first they were like, you just finished serving. What do you have to buy all the machines? I'll definitely catch up with this. Then I only have one machine. So from there, I tried to struggle to get more machine, and they gave me the chance to train. So today, I've trained thousands of core members, and I have some of them around me doing their business. I can still count more than 500 across the nations that they are into this business, doing their business and they're using this to feed their family, cater for themselves. The last election, I can say one of my students was the one that got the Southwest, one of the parties, Southwest campaign shirt. I deal with some companies and I deal with individuals. But what Jesse Empire do most is empowering the youth. I allow the youth, most especially the core members, to come around. What I normally do is, if you come to me, you want to learn, we all know that you need to pay, but it's going to be a token. Like learning how to brand, I only charge them for 5,000 naira.
I am a following Damola Mary from Kwara State, an ex-com member. While I was serving, I joined Jesse Empire to learn male fashion. Since I've been here, I've learned a lot. Now I know how to sew for guys, for male rather, and my boss, Jesse Empire, he really tried for me, because after my service here, he actually allowed me to stay here to be sewing whatever jobs I get, because I don't have a shop of my own now. So I would like to say thank you very much to Jesse Empire, because even not for him, I wouldn't really want to go into this business, because I don't have money to start, and to start tailoring, you have to get a shop, people have to know you, people have to see what you do. At least I did this myself. Yeah, it's female wears, and I do male wears too very well. Even not for NYSC, I wouldn't even think of learning for male, because learning now, even now that I want to learn for females more, because there's nothing like you've learned it all, you still want to advance. And now that I want to learn more, I'm hearing like 280,000 naira to learn what I've already learned, just to have advanced classes. No, NYSC have really tried for me, and so many people too, I can't say.
I was introduced to Jesse Empire during my service here in 2016-2017 at the NYSC orientation camp in Iseyin. And fortunately, I was posted to Ibadan, and he happens to be based in Ibadan too, so I continued from there with him. And so far, even after service here, I think 4 years down now, we are still here. So NYSC actually had done a great thing in giving us this leverage.
If not for SAED, I don't know where I would be today. Because today, from this customizing and tailoring business that I learned for free from SAED Skills Acquisition, I think I can boast of having 2 houses on my own. I don't know the kind of job I would do that will actually fetch me that. I so much thank God, and I so much thank NYSC, and I thank federal government for actually introducing SAED to NYSC, because I don't believe my life will have been better than this if I don't train under SAED. I so much believe that when I was learning, I told myself that this business, I must follow it up. And today, I'm so grateful to God, and I'm so grateful to SAED, because I was serving. But today, I think NYSC, they are happy to have Jesse Empire, because most time we train for free. Because anytime I remember that I was trained for free to get to where I am today, I decided to do that. Like, it's not about the money we are making, it's about imparting knowledge and giving life to people. When I was serving, I told my friend one day that, come, once we are done at work, you go home or you go to cinema. You guys will be playing around. Then they used to laugh at me that you are going again. But later, when they noticed that this guy is actually making it, because then my 19 hits, I don't even touch it. Sometimes when the Alawi, they are yet to pay Alawi, middle of the month, most of them will have broke. I'll be the one to be feeding everybody. I'll tell them, let me show you how to start this business. Let me show you some things. Some of them agreed. and some still believe that it's nothing. So it got to a stage, when towards the end of the service, they started saying, I just came to waste my time here. I said, you did not. You wasted your time because you want to waste your time. A lot of people believe that NYSC is just all about you going to your PPA, coming back, then you play around. I used to tell my students now that NYSC is just like IT. You are done in school. That a year is for you to sit down. What did I want to do with my life? What next? The kind of life you choose when you are serving determine what you are going to do after service. Because after service, some people will go home sleeping. I have some of my students here. I can boast of some of them that they've actually done their masters from this business. And I have some of my students here that came to me, Empire, I just finished my house. So if you are still believing that NYSC is a waste of time, maybe it's because you still need to sit down to check yourself, what did I actually want to do with my life? Because I don't see NYSC to be a waste of time.
Beautiful designs there. You too can become a CEO. Are you a corps member, a prospective corps member, or a Nigerian youth? Find your passion and creativity, and during your service here, take full advantage of the NYSC Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program and acquire the right skills for self-reliance. We would be right back.
The National Youth Service Corps, a call to service, a call to nationhood. Nigerian youths, stand up and embrace this clarion call. Wherever you are posted, accept it, embrace it. Do not harbor any fears, because your security is assured. Develop common ties with members of your host communities. You would discover that North, South, East and West, we are all brothers with common ties and a shared destiny as one nation. Do not lobby for preferential posting, for it is unpatriotic and illegal. Report at once to the orientation camp as soon as you are posted and contribute your quota to the overall development of our great nation, Nigeria. The National Youth Service Corps, building future leaders.
Welcome back. Sadly, this is how far we can go on today's episode of NYSC Half Hour. Do you have a question or comment? Please write to us on the online handles displayed on your screens right now, and we will write back. Remember, the safety of corps members in our communities is the responsibility of you and I. Until I see you next time, I am Nkem Okwogo. Stay safe. The Director General and Management of the National Youth Service Corps wish to remind the general public of the provisions of the NYSC Act, which states in Section 13, subsection 1, that any person who fails to report for service in the Service Corps in the manner directed by the Directorate or as the case may be, prescribed pursuant to the provisions of this Act, or who refuses to make himself available for service for a period specified in subsection 2 of the Act, is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine or to imprisonment to a term of 12 months or both, fine and imprisonment. Subsection 2 states that any person who is not eligible to participate in the service year so participates or attempts to participate is guilty of an offense or having served in a service year and has been duly issued with a certificate of national service or certificate of exemption, as the case may be, is guilty of an offense and is liable upon conviction to a fine or imprisonment to a term of 2 years or both fine and imprisonment. All stakeholders, including corps producing institutions, prospective corps members and guardians, should be guided in their conduct
and desist from criminal practices in relation to the scheme. Thank you.